Today on History's Hidden Weird, the almost unbelievable tale of Sarah Rachel Russell, a 19th-century con artist whose genius for deceit earned her the nickname, Queen of the Swindlers. She promised cures for everything from baldness to broken hearts. She charmed men into marriage, then left them in coffins. And she made a fortune doing it all, without ever lifting more than a teacup. I'm Quinn Strange. Let's get into it. Born around 1814 in London's East End, Sarah Rachel Russell started life in the shadows. Her early years are murky, probably intentionally. Records are scarce, and Sarah herself seemed to constantly reinvent her past. What we do know is that by the time she was in her 30s, she'd adopted a new name, Madame Rachel. Madame Rachel didn't just sell soap, she sold salvation. She claimed her potions could restore youth, beauty, and spiritual harmony. Her shop in Mayfair catered to society's desperate and vain, especially women terrified of aging. She marketed things like magnetic rock dew water, Arabian bloom of youth, and Circassian golden hair wash. Sounds fancy, right? They were mostly perfumes, powders, and colored water. But they sold. Sarah wasn't selling science. She was selling hope, and people bought it by the bottle. Here's the weird brilliance. Sarah wasn't just playing dress-up with beauty products. She built a full-blown fantasy world. She wore exotic robes, claimed to be descended from Middle Eastern royalty, and insisted she had studied ancient beauty secrets in Egypt and India. She even had her employees wear veils and speak in hushed tones, turning her Mayfair shop into something between a mystic's den and a luxury spa. Victorian London, full of strict morals, repressed desires, and rampant pseudoscience, was the perfect hunting ground for someone like her. She promised transformation. She promised to reveal secret arts. She even told clients she could secure them royal marriages, for a price. And that's where the real swindles began. Let's talk about one of her most infamous victims, Mrs. Mary Tucker. A lonely widow, wealthy, and deeply insecure about her appearance. Sarah promised Mary that, with the right treatments and a little cash, she could marry a member of the aristocracy. Over months, Mary handed over thousands of pounds, about £60,000 in today's money. And all she got in return were vials of rose water and broken dreams. Sarah forged letters from noblemen, promising affection and marriage. She'd claim, "He is in love with your photograph. One more treatment and he will propose." This wasn't one con. It was dozens. A revolving door of wealthy women, seduced by Sarah's claims of transformation and societal elevation. But it wasn't just women she preyed on. She also married several times, and those marriages rarely ended well for her husbands. Sarah Russell's love life was as shady as her sales tactics. She married at least 5 times, often under different names. One of her husbands, Philip Levison, was believed to have died suspiciously not long after marrying her. Whispers of poisoning surrounded her, but there was never enough evidence to convict. At least, not then. She used marriage like another tool in her kit, like face powder or perfume. It was part of the illusion, part of the performance. And she always seemed to walk away richer. So how did it all come crashing down? In 1868, the tide finally turned. The case that did her in? Mary Tucker, that lonely widow we mentioned earlier, finally went to the authorities after realizing her dream prince was a fiction and that she'd been expertly duped. The police raided Madame Rachel's shop and uncovered a cache of forged letters, fraudulent documents, and ingredients for her fake beauty elixirs. In court, the evidence was staggering. One victim said she paid nearly £2,000 for face cream. Another claimed Rachel had promised her a royal match if she paid installment fees. Rachel's defense? That these women were delusional. that they misunderstood her. The judge didn't buy it. Sarah Rachel Russell was sentenced to 5 years in prison for fraud. But when she got out, she went right back to her old tricks. She opened a new shop. A new name. New victims. Eventually, she was caught again, this time for even more elaborate marriage scams. In 1888, she died in prison at the age of 74. Still unrepentant. Still weirdly fabulous. Still scheming. It's tempting to look at Sarah Rachel Russell as just another grifter. But she was more than that. She was a performance artist of deception, someone who understood how deeply people want to believe in transformation. In many ways, she predicted the future. The modern beauty industry. Celebrity branding. Social climbing through illusion. Selling wellness without evidence. Today, we see influencers pushing detox teas and miracle creams on Instagram. Not much has changed. Only the packaging. Sarah Rachel Russell wasn't just conning people, she was holding up a mirror to Victorian society. And it wasn't a very flattering reflection. So, was she a villain? A visionary? A snake oil feminist icon? Maybe all three. Maybe none. But one thing's for sure, she was weird. This has been History's Hidden Weird. I'm Quinn Strange. Thanks for listening. Stay curious. Stay kind. Stay wonderfully weird.